Hey, welcome into another edition of Silver Lining Podcast. It's Adam and Rex. By the way, thank you guys for watching us. Thank you for participating in our podcast. And it wasn't, we were talking when you got off the last podcast, Rex, and I was talking to some of the moderators. They're like, has it been a year since you guys been doing this? I was like, maybe. It seems like it. So then we looked back at the dates. So when we have a year coming up in July, we're going to do some kind of a celebration. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I guess to do a podcast for a full year, and you and I were been pretty consistent, not consistently good, but just consistent on doing a podcast, and maybe 2 to 3 a week when we first started. Remember those days?
Yeah, the end of June, I think, was the first one, just for the 4th of July, if I remember right. But
yeah,
we've had a lot of healing from that, but we could not stop. I talked to an optimist in person here the other day and told her we wanted to stop after 10. We had accomplished what we wanted. When people are so good, so loving, and they're saying, don't stop, we're getting healing, we're getting stuff out of this, we couldn't stop. We didn't know what we would do continuing or why we were continuing.
Did not have a plan. I know that.
But we were compelled to continue because of all of your comments and support. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And this has come a long ways. This has organically grown into something that we weren't expecting. Rex and I were just going to write a book about, Lori's situation and our perspective of what happened to us and our family. And it just grew legs and started going in a full direction and Rex and I were trying to hang on for dear life to go with it, because you guys just all gathered together. And Rex and I love that the community can talk to each other, support each other. It's amazing to watch that. So we're just grateful to be part of this podcast. And I know we started it, but we're just grateful to be part of what has now grown into this great community of people with support and love. And it's something that I think the world of the optimists out there that have been watching us. So with that being said, a lot of things are going on. The trial's going on. The last live, Rex and I answered a lot of questions about what was happening with the live. And there's been some comments that were made that we definitely want to address again. And some other things that are coming up in trial. And we're going to do that this Saturday, right?
Yeah, we're going to have a live this Saturday, 4:30 Mountain Time, 3:30 Pacific Time in the U.S., and continue addressing. But we thought we were real clear, but you never quite communicate just what you want to. And what's on our minds, really, that we'll talk about Saturday is Melanie. Some people thought we were giving Melanie a pass because we talk so much about how much we love Melanie, and we do.
Right.
But
yes.
And so we'll talk more about that this Saturday. I started to get into it, Adam.
I know. I get it. And sometimes when you say certain things, people in their mind hear something different, or their perception is different. So we have a lot to talk about, which we'll get to coming up on Saturday with the live, and the new things that are going on in Chad's trial with his kids testifying and the expert witnesses that are about to come up and all those things. So we're going to have a lot to talk about. Make sure you come prepared with whatever questions that you have, and that will be on this Saturday on our podcast.
I'm very excited about this, what we're getting into now and today, because we finally feel like, after we've been just trying to hang on, figure out what this is, we think it's a platform that's going to provide a lot of resources, a lot of healing for people. So today is just a down payment in that, so to speak, just that really the first announcement. We're very excited about this announcement, Adam.
Yeah, we have 3 or maybe even 4 announcements that will be coming up in the future. But Rex and I feel like, because of your comments and because of the way people had said that they're healing from the podcast and from those things, and when we have some experts on, or people that are willing to come on and help other people, I love the whole concept of people helping people. And so that's basically our platform is going to be that. And this is the first thing, and Rex and I have been working on this for, I don't know, 8 months. I told Rex about this idea that I've had for a really long time. And it's taken a long time to get it all together to be able to do this. But as you know, I was a radio DJ for 30 years, morning show host. I went to New York and worked there, and I've had a pretty big radio career. Rex has been pretty much to all the radio stations I've worked at, and been a huge supporter. He's been on my show several times, just as a guest. And I put Rex on my show here when I was in St. George about his book. I've had him come on. We've talked about, him being a pilot. We talked about him. He came on the show in Sacramento. So there's been a whole history of Rex and I having a relationship way before we started this podcast, for those of you who are brand new. With that being said, I left radio. A lot of things happen in radio. And we started doing this podcast, but I became a professional pickleball player. And so I switched at the age of 53. I switched formats of being a radio DJ and becoming a head pro pickleball at resorts and things. So it's difficult sometimes when you think about your life, what you really want to do with your life. And a lot of people are scared to take a risk. And I remember when I was here, what did I tell you, Rex? Because I was going to take another radio job, and just kind of tell people what I was telling you during this time.
It was, of course, that's a tough decision, life decision. Do you move? What job do you take? And you've been in radio so long. How do you not take a radio job, even though it wasn't ideal? Is it a place where there's no family? And of course, during this time of the trials, family's everything. For us, especially Adam and I, all of our family members, we need people to process with. We need the supportive family. And with Adam's immediate family getting split apart, now they're trying to get back together. Just a tough time for Adam trying to make this decision of, do I take this safe radio job in Missouri where there's no one else related? It's safe, not the best radio job. Do I do that? Or do I do something more wild, Adam?
It's so, I had a decision to make, and a lot of times in life we come to what's called crossroads. And Rex and I have talked about crossroads a lot, because when you're 18 years old, you have a decision to make. Am I going to college or am I going to get a job? What's the decision you're making at that point? Am I going on a mission? Depending on what, am I going to the military? At 18, you're becoming an adult. You graduate from high school, then you have decisions to make. That's a huge crossroad. And then when you get older, and a lot of people get to the point of thinking about retirement, you have another crossroad. When are you going to make that? I have a pickleball friend that's like, I've been trying to retire for 3 or 4 years now, and I think maybe next year or the year after is when I'm going to make that thing happen. But in your mind, you're thinking about this crossroad, because once you make that decision to retire, what does that even look like? What does that mean? So I started thinking about my crossroads and decisions I made in my life. And I go with my gut feeling. And when I told Rex, I was like, I have a terrible feeling about going to Missouri. And I said, I just feel like I want to be close to Zach. Zach lives in Arizona. I don't have a job in Arizona. I'm done with Zach, my son. I said, I'm done with radio. I did some pickleball lessons when I was in St. George, but I didn't have a full-time job in St. George when I was leaving. And so I could have left and went to Missouri, got a full-time job, benefits, the whole thing, being a morning show host again, doing something that I was comfortable with. Well, I left being comfortable and took a huge risk. And I said, Rex, I think I'm just going to move to Phoenix to be close to Zach and just try to get a pickleball job and become a pickleball pro somewhere. No clue who was going to hire me. No clue if I was going to get hired, like really going out on a limb in faith. And as I did that and started hunting, Just like when I hunted for radio jobs, getting to New York, hunting for this job, there's a certain format that I follow, and I'm very persistent on this, which is what will help you get a job, which helped me get a job. And I have a formula that can help that. So as we go through all this, that we're about to announce this new life coaching called Accountable, I'll explain more about that. But I ended up coming here, and I got a full-time job being a pickleball pro with no experience, just playing pickleball. So it was a huge leap of faith. But in my first book, when I wrote about my first book, I remember mentioning in there, there's really no reward without a risk. And sometimes people think my risks are too big, but the rewards were always big. And I'm not saying I've been successful all the time. Like, doors have shut in my face more times than not. But I think being persistent and having the right attitude and having confidence in yourself, there's a lot of things that will help you in your life, depending on what you want to do with your life, to go forward with that. And I want to be part of it. So Rex and I would love to share something on the screen. I made this video, and I'm going to be doing...
For heaven's sakes, would you get on with it? I can't wait. I'm excited about this.
I'm going to be doing some coaching for people that are at a point in their life where they want to make a change. And so once we play the video, I'll go through and kind of explain a little bit more.
And let's be clear with people, this isn't where the podcast is going. This is in addition to the podcast. The podcast is going to stay on the track of commenting on Chad and Lori's trials, being a healing area, but a healing community.
Yes.
That what we're introducing, and we'll introduce several things, as Adam said, these are resources that people have while they're healing, while they're trying to get ahead in life, while they're trying to make decisions in life. So this is the first of many announcements of things that will be available, and this one's going to be available just right about now.
Which are mine too.
Can you hear that, Adam?
Yeah, back it up a little bit and turn it up. That's the first time I've ever told anybody to turn up my voice, because I'm usually super loud. I got a loud one.
I'm used to YouTube where there's a button that says,
"Oh, you're right,"
on sound, and this one doesn't have it. So I hope people can hear it. Okay, I'll turn the volume all the way up.
Okay,
but here we go.
Which are mine too. I'm a huge believer in that. My name is Adam Cox, and I come up with a program called Accountable that will help you achieve your dreams and your goals. And let me just give you a background of what happened to me in my life. At the age of 20 years old, I got into radio, and I told all my friends around me once I got into radio that I wanted to work at the #1 radio station in America. And they laughed and they rolled their eyes and said, that's never going to happen. 5 years later, I ended up working at C100 in New York as the #1 night DJ. How did I do it? I'll explain later. Now, the next thing in my life, I went to school and I tried my hardest. I got a C in English. Well, I told people that I was going to write a book, and everybody laughed, rolled their eyes, and said, that's not going to happen. Well, now I'm proud to say that I'm the author of 2 published books. And then the other thing in my life, setting goals and living your dream and trying to make your dreams come true. When I was 50 years old, I picked up a pickleball paddle for the first time. And after playing one time, I told everybody around me, I'm going to play professional pickleball. I'm going to be a professional athlete and play pro pickleball. They all laughed. They all rolled their eyes. And 6 months later, I played in a pro tournament and won my first 4 matches. Going back to when I was younger, because a lot of us like to use excuses of why we can't achieve our goal, why we can't live our dreams or do the things that we really want to do. When I was 22 years old, I came down with type 1 diabetes and learned how to live with that. At one point in my life, I gained 60 pounds because of a leg problem that I had. I set a goal to lose 50 pounds. Well, 4 months later, I ended up losing 65 pounds. I know what it takes to lose weight. It's very difficult. But you're never too old, never too young to do something that you really want to do. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. I've come up with a formula that can help you do that. Whether it's losing weight, doing a dream that you always wanted to do, or just achieving goals. I would love to be part of your journey. I would love to help you find joy in your journey as you try to live your dreams or try to just achieve your goals. So join me in this program called Accountable.
Wow. So professional.
I love that. People, no one watching this has ever seen you in a jacket.
Right. That's what she said. You're like, where'd you get that? I was like, I actually have clothes. I just don't wear clothes. But so with that being said, this whole program, Accountable, I really feel like I can help people. I've helped other people, not professionally, but just friends. And I've been mentored by some really, really good people. Like I told Rex a long time ago, when I hear somebody that's the smartest person in the room, I gravitate to them and I just start asking questions. Like when Rex was telling me about, when he wants to find out something, he'll vet. He'll ask several different people and vet. So I do the same thing. I try to find people that are experienced or successful, and I pick their brain. I have a friend, Eric, who's he was been my kind of life coach, and he spent lots of money going to these seminars where these gurus were, talking to top CEOs and companies and all these things. So over the years, I've gotten so many great ideas and practices that I would love to share with people and help people that really want to do something with their life. Because a lot of people just aren't happy the way they are. And there's certain things in life that can help you day by day, every single day by doing certain things that can bring happiness and joy to your life. And I feel like I have a great formula for that. So with that being said, the only problem is that you're going to have a 30-minute Zoom meeting with me, and I'm going to pick your brain to find out what you want to accomplish in your life. And then you're going to get a daily text from me, and you're going to have to text me back every day, being accountable for what you and I discuss about what your goals are. So I think if you really invest in yourself and you have these goals that you're going to do, if somebody's there waiting for you to text back what you accomplished, it puts more pressure on you than it would be, well, I'm just going to do this. And one day you'd feel like, oh, I'm not going to do this today. I'll do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. We're doing it today. So that's the premise of Accountable, Rex.
That is going to be a big benefit for a lot of us. A lot of us are trying to not only heal, but just get on with life, get on with what is next in life. We've left our, as you said earlier, left our goals behind, sometimes our dreams behind, just because it hasn't seemed right, the right time in our life. Is there one right time in our life, Adam? Or
I feel like if you have a desire to do something and you really, like, say you're 65 years old and you want to become a singer and you've sung and practiced and stuff, I'm telling you, I think there's a way for you to do that. And there's a formula that you stick to on a daily basis until you get to whatever goal you want to do, whether it's make a record, if it's you want to get up and sing in front of people, whatever your goal is to become a singer. I feel like even though I don't sing, I know the formula to get you to where you need to be. Losing weight is a difficult thing, a lot of people, but there are so many great things that I could help you with to get to a point where I think you'll be happy. if that's one of your things. And it could be anything, because this formula can be plugged in to whatever you're doing.
Well, let me make it clear, since you said 65. I'm 67. Adam wasn't talking about me, because the only hope I have of becoming a singer is get really good with technology so I could dub a good voice in when I'm singing. So that's one way to accomplish it, I think.
But, well, think of this. You've written 2 books in your 60s. No, who's done that?
Yeah, that's true. I have that. I feel good about that. We all feel good when we get an accomplishment, and a lot of our lives may seem ordinary. I do workshops all the time, and we start out a workshop. I ask people to state something that they've done in their life, an accomplishment or something that's happened to them. And invariably, there's one person out of 5 or 10 that say, I've never done anything in my life. My life's just been boring. Now, when you dig in a while, their life has not been boring, but they just feel that way. That's their reaction.
Yeah.
But I had a great contrast to that, not to get off topic, but the last few days I've been teaching teenagers, because a very progressive company knew it would be a good investment to invest in them. They're paying a lot of money for these teenagers to get trained in what I train. And so I'm talking to 18-year-olds here. And I said, same thing. Hey, give us something that's happened to you or something you've accomplished. This group of 11, 18-year-olds had some incredible accomplishments at this point in their life, and they felt good about it. You know, I visited 8 countries. One of them has played international soccer. It's like, good grief,
right?
Hey, stop it. But
you're making me look bad.
Right. Exactly. But you love to have that feeling of accomplishment, see other people get accomplishments. So I envy you a little bit, Adam, in the coaching you're going to be doing. So Accountable is going to be available. Do you want to tell them how it's available, or do you want to wait? Something else that's coming up, we're going to be talking about on the 1st of June, Patreon. We will do a Patreon, as we have said we're going to do. These are things that cost money. They'll make money. They are part of our podcast. It's separate for that. And we think they'll be great resources for the people that choose to do them. But do you want to tell people more about how to get to...
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll put the link to get to the Accountable. If you want to do that, we'll put the link up on in comments. But it will look like this. We'll just put the link up. You can just click on the link in the comments, and you'll be able to come right to this page.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll highlight that, put that in the comments, and then you could just, if you want to look into it and find out more about it, there's a landing page, and you can learn more about what you get, how it works, and then also there's a schedule to book a schedule with me for a 30-minute consultation. We'll do a Zoom, and we'll really break down what you really want to do and what you want to accomplish in life. Because I just feel like, so many people have helped me in my life, and I've come up with so many things in life experiences. I've had so many doors shut in my face when I was really reaching for the stars on a lot of things in my life. And fortunately for me, by reaching for the stars and taking a chance and taking a risk, things have really worked out. And sometimes things that I never thought in a million years was going to happen actually happened to me. So I feel like there is definitely a formula to stick to really achieve goals, whatever your goals may be, or dreams. And don't think you're too old or too young, or if you have a kid that probably could use some help, or a grandchild, or your husband, or whoever it is. If it's not you, I know somebody could use it. And so I just feel like this is something that I'm passionate about. Pickleball for the summer is really going to die down. So I can put a lot of time and effort into this and helping people achieve goals that they want to achieve, and help, dreams come true, because there really is a way to do it.
Well, we're very excited about this, excited to offer it to y'all. Stay with us. Join us this Saturday for our live Saturday, 4:30 Mountain Time here in the United States. And we will continue on this journey together. Adam, any closing remarks?
Yeah, this Saturday on our live, Rex and I have a few things that we would love to talk about, some of the comments that were made in the last live, just to address some things that I think people maybe misheard us or didn't understand what we were saying. But there's a lot of things, and I just can't wait to get to Saturday and talk more about the case and answer your questions, because that's what our podcast does. We give you our perspective of how we feel.
Let's be frank. It easily could have been us miscommunicating. That has
happened on this podcast before,
and will probably happen more in the future. So it may have been all us, but we'll get things aired out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for being with us.